YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here yet again. It is our Friday show, going a little earlier today. Joined as always, Stu. How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. A little bit tired, but nothing crazy. I'm in the tail end of a nice little 48-hour fast right here, so a little tired, I guess. But beyond that, yeah, good slate yesterday, good slate today. I'm excited to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I've only ever done I think I've done like a fast, but it's only been like a 24. I've never gone 48. Just to kind of reset everything. It's just kind of tough because like I don't think I could do it right now with like the amount of like running I'm doing right now. I probably would be I'd probably pass the fuck out. So I don't know. Kudos to you, man. 48 hours is pretty wild. So hopefully you're just hammering that water, bro.
Yeah, I am. I've only ever done 24 as well, but wanted to push it a little bit right here. And honestly, besides like last night when I was kind of like before bed, like little headache, kind of just like maybe I should go eat something, But now we're at the tail end of it. Just got a couple more hours, so pretty solid. But yeah, I wanted to get back into a good like gym routine and stuff as well. So I figured it's a good way to start and kind of like you said, reset a little bit. So yeah, if I say anything dumb on here, I'll blame it on that, on being a little like lightheaded or whatever. But overall, can't complain. Feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like the toughest part of those is like when you're like bored, like when you're not moving around. Like honestly, dude, like when I'm at work, bro, I don't even think about food, bro. Like I'm just kind of locked. But kind of when I get home and it's like that 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm kind of hungry. I'm not that hungry, but I'm like, I could put something back right now, and then it's like shit. Then it just kind of adds on to each other.
The funniest temptation I have is grapes, because I love grapes, and they're just like grapes sitting. I'm like, oh, that would hit right now. Just a handful of grapes. I'm like, it probably wouldn't hurt, but like I don't know. I just figure I'll stay true to it and avoid that. Although I don't like how many calories are in a freaking grape. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's above my pay grade. But yeah, no, I feel I just locked into the NBA slate, watched a movie immediately after, and then went to bed. I was like, I gotta stay.
What movie did you watch?
I watched Wind River. Taylor Sheridan, the Yellowstone guy.
No, never seen it. I watch a lot of movies, but I feel like we're never watching the same ones. I feel like we're very different on our choices of movies.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into it now more. I'm gonna actually start posting about like movies and stuff on my other account that I don't ever use at all for anything, because I don't know, it's just fun. I watched a lot of like comedy stuff for the longest time, but now I'm more trying to get into like like more classics or like modern classics or the well-known directors right now, stuff like that. I want to be better at movie trivia. I'm a trivia guy, but I get my ass kicked there, and it's just fun. It's a good time. It's nice to get, because I'm not a TV show guy. I really haven't watched a TV show in like years, honestly, outside of like one or two here, a couple like quick comedy 20-minute kind of shows. But yeah, like I like that you get 2 to 3 hours or whatever, and then you're done. You're out of it. It's all contained, and you can kind of move on, rather than a fucking 8-season show that you gotta like wait every week to watch or something. It's just a little too tricky for me.
Yeah, I will say recommended. I just finished Night Agent new season. That's a really good show. That's actually a very good show. I would definitely put that on your list if you're like into those stuff that keeps you suspense, and they don't like give you hints very much. Like you gotta be locked in. And for more of an action show, that's not usually the case. Usually, it's pretty shitty writing. But I feel you, dude. I used to work at a movie theater when I hurt my shoulder. When I hurt my shoulder right at the end of my baseball career, I kind of blew it out a little bit, and I was like, either I do rehab and try to get back in 3 months, or I just like work full time at just some random place quick before my internship in minor league baseball. So I'm like, what do I like? I'm like, okay, well, I'll do this. And I was at a movie theater. I was there for like 6 months. And my claim to fame on that job was I was working there when Infinity War came out. Obviously a huge Avengers movie. And I got to come in 3 hours early. I came in at 6 a.m. on that Thursday because I needed to calibrate it to the 3D. So like I got to go in super early, me and one other guy, and we're sitting in there like the first people that got to watch it there. So it was pretty sick. It was definitely one of those jobs that like, you know, you kind of miss it because like it's, you know, you just get to talk to people and you know, the rushes suck ass, but yeah, it was definitely a fun job. So no, my wife said she used to go to that movie theater all the time in La Crosse when I worked there. And I never saw her, but I'm like, yeah, it's because I fucking worked during the day. I didn't have any classes. I was just working there during the day, and all you guys are actually doing things. So, yeah, I thought that was funny. But yeah, I get you, dude. I watched all like the when they do I know Marcus does them because I worked at a Marcus when they do it where they all of the ones that are nominated for best film they do it on a rotation all day. I've done that one time. That was pretty cool. That was the year of like I believe it was like the Green Book. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. That was. I'm kind of dating myself now. That's when my senior year of college was. Yeah, it was that like the Mule, I think it was also that year. So like those were cool. That was a definitely a cool job. So I'm we'll be able to have more stuff to talk about. It sounds like.
Yeah, no, because I was doing Oscar writing for Vegas Insider for a little bit as well there in like I want to say 2021, 2022. So that's kind of my era of like those Oscar movies. Like I remember Parasite. I was writing during the Parasite year, which was great. 1917. My personal favorite movie, The Sound of Metal. I think it won.
I don't know the movie.
Yeah, not many people do. I think it won Best Supporting Actor that year at the Oscars, but nothing much beyond that. But would definitely recommend Sound of Metal. Absolutely love that movie. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. I'm just trying to like watch more serious ones, right? Because it used to always just be comedies. You know, I've watched every one of those early 2000s, like just hilarious stoner comedy, whatever. But now I'm trying to get into, you know, the more serious stuff, and even this year's Oscar stuff as well. So yeah, you know, just a new something to get into, you know, something to use a little creativity for.
No, I feel you. Yeah, no, I feel I'm still kind of in that range. I really don't watch a ton. I'm not a horror guy either.
Oh, same.
Did you watch the new one that came out with Dylan O'Brien in there? Did you watch that? Send Help?
No. Is that horror? No.
No, that was really fucking good though. I'm like, I feel like now people starting to get on that Rachel McAdams train, bro. But I've been on that train for a minute. And I've been on Dylan O'Brien. I just rewatched Teen Wolf because it popped on my Netflix. I remember watching it when I was like 13. And I'm like, I used to love this show and I never actually seen how it ended. So I just saw him in that, Dylan O'Brien, and then Rachel McAdams is just a fucking G. That movie was really fucking good. Like, I didn't know what I expected. I just like both main people. So I'm like, I gotta see it. Even if it was a little bit more of like a thriller, I would definitely watch that. That was a really, really good movie. And it just came out like 3 weeks ago. I went out on the opening weekend. It was really good. My wife liked it too. She's into movies, not as much as me, but like even she liked it and thought it was really good. So I think it was like 95 plus on Rotten Tomatoes too. Like it was up there.
All right, I'm gonna have to add that to the list then, because yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of hype right now. You know, we're post like all the Oscar. It's kind of like horror stuff in theater. Like I watched Crime 101 a couple like last week or so, which is a new, I think Liam Hemsworth, Halle Berry. Like
yeah, I saw that. I did see
thriller. That. And I love heist movies. Like I love heist movies just in general. In my opinion, that movie fucking sucked. Like I was not a fan. It's not like one of those straight to Netflix movies, but it got like a full theatrical release. And if you're going to be like a heist movie that's not that great, I'd rather it be fun, explosions, you know, at least make it. It wasn't fun. They were trying to make it like slick and cool. And I don't know. It just wasn't that interesting to me, but I'm sure everyone that worked on that movie made a shit ton of money because it was stacked cast. But I don't know anyone else who's even watched it. So I doubt the studio is going to make it done. But, you know, hopefully we get some more good theater movies out here soon. And I'll definitely check that one out.
Yeah, it was good. It was, I'm not usually a very nice critic. I'm usually pretty like, I'm like, tell me how this made sense, bro. Like what, like explain this to me. How are we getting here? And it's like, and it usually most of the time I'm asking my wife and she's like, shut the hell up. It was decent. You know, like it was good. And I'm like, no, it really like this shit kind of fucked with me. Like, why this doesn't make any sense. But enough. We'll get to the stuff right now. We got 25 of you guys in here live with us joining us. Get to talk a quick recap from last show. I believe we did have our winners here on the show last time. Let me pull it up. And that would be right here. Vandy, Georgia, over 163.5. Did get there. They ended up scoring like 174, I think. One of those games again where the first half total goes under, and then the teams are like, well, we both kind of suck. We want to score. All right, let's just mutually agree to just see who could score the most points in the second half. Pretty sure it was like 95 points scored in the second half, and ended up going over the total. So love to see it. Shout out to these two teams that are going to probably get 30 piece in the SEC tournament. But hey, you cashed us some tickets here.
Nice, sounds good. Yeah, nice little no sweat. I mean, I wasn't watching, so I just saw it at the end and went, nice. You know, good work. But it's good to get a winner in there.
Yeah, they do not play any defense in that fucking conference. I swear to God. So
not even from Friends, not even him.
Not even who?
The guy from Friends.
Oh, Chandler Bing. Yeah, Chandler. He does, dude. He plays, dude. He like plays a decent amount. I think that's hilarious that his parents actually thought that was a good idea. Because
I was gonna say
would have been out by then.
It must have just come out or something for that math to work, right? Like, well,
no, because I think it'd be earlier because this guy's probably born in the 2000s.
That's a good point. Yeah, so is it just
2003? You'd be like, as a senior, he'd be two.
Someone's got to interview about this. This is what we don't have journalism anymore. Someone needs to like hop on this story ASAP. You know, I'm curious.
Someone needs to call his parents and probably freaking put him in jail for that shit, bro. That's what they should do.
I've seen worse in college sports. There's some crazy names. I saw a runner yesterday. His name was Crystal Coke. That's a kind of rough one right there. But you know, it is what it is.
Oh man. Well, we'll start talking some NBA, talking some college basketball right now. As always, guys, if you could hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and put that notification bell on so you know when we go live here. We got sports in here joining us early and often first guy in here. We appreciate you popping in here, and yeah, we can start talking about this slate. So NBA, obviously, where you're going to kind of be here tonight. Tight slate, 5-gamer. Got some good games, though. We got some good games outside of, obviously, the Nets doing what the Nets do. I think they're, 20-point dogs tonight? Jesus Christ. But Denver, OKC, Memphis, Dallas, 2 scrub teams. And we got, obviously, the Bucks who are playing. Dude, I said it on the show, dude. I said it. I like the Bucks in that game. Ended up fucking beating the Cavs anyway. I know everything changed, but they were still dogs at the tip-off. I think 3.5 versus 8.5. Ryan Rollins, KPJ, little combo there doing their thing. And then we got Cavs Pistons today on that. So we have really good slate. Really good slate, kind of small slate. But Stu, where are you looking today as we get to see some good games?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Normally when I see a 5-gamer, I'm kind of like, oh boy, like we got to dig through the dumps here. But no, we got bangers. I mean, Cleveland against the Pistons is like, I mean, arguably the 2 best teams in the East. I mean, that's going to be a banger right there. Definitely hyped for that game. Going across Twitter, I have a bet in that game. It kind of moved a little bit, but I see like everyone on unders on Pistons, everyone, all the smart people, and they're all on different people. I've seen Cade unders, I've seen Duran unders, so it's like kind of interesting of like, I'm curious who's going to actually do the scoring in that one. And obviously Cleveland is a little bit of a question mark because no Donovan Mitchell, and then Harden, it looks like he's going to play through this fracture in his thumb. That seems a little weird to me, honestly. Like, if you're going to play, sure, but why not? I guess this game's important, but why not give him like a week before he plays to at least heal up a little bit? You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how this shit works, but like, it's a little interesting. So I'm curious, like, he could always be a last minute scratch as well. Like, that's possible, but it does look like he's going to play. So, like, you got like what? Thumbless Harden, no Mitchell versus the Pistons. Like, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a tricky game. What's the spread here? I'm curious.
It's tight. It's like 5.5, I think. 4.5.
That feels sharp to me then. That feels sharp to me. If it was like 3.5, I'm like Pistons could have some value there. But honestly, I maybe even look the under. I think with no Mitchell and even Harden, maybe a little less, I think it's just going to be slow as hell. So that's always a possibility as well. I think 227 is what I'm looking at right now. But yeah, that's going to be a banger. And then we'll skip to the bottom. Obviously, the other side, we got a West Coast banger. We got the Nuggets and we got the Thunders. SGA is making his return today. SGA bets scare me because, man, like assists look so good on paper. Like you don't have to be a genius. I think the whole world is probably going to take over 6.5 assists. It's plus money right now. He had like 21 potentials last time they played. They just double the shit out of him. And both teams are going to do that, by the way. Jokic is going to get like doubled to hell, and SGA is going to get doubled to hell. And now you don't even have Payne Watson. You don't have Aaron Gordon. You don't have a true matchup for SGA. So it's just going to be like send bodies, send bodies, send bodies. I'm just like, I don't know how much he plays. Like, it feels like whatever projection I'd go off, I'd be going off like 28 to 32 minutes. That's kind of the range that seems most likely to me. And just a little scarier when you don't have that upside of like 36 minutes, blah, blah, blah. So that would be my concern. I guess it's just SGA coming back. But yeah, that should be a good game for role players, with all those double teams I expect to see against those stars. It's like, which one of these guys is going to step up and take advantage. Christian Braun, I talked about on the show in a very similar matchup the other day, went over his threes, but not his points. Unfortunately, I had points. So that was kind of a bummer. I will say Bet365 only, they have field goal attempts and 3-point attempts. This is awesome, man. We need FanDuel to get this. Like, oh my God. I mean, the problem is like they're kind of easy. So you're probably gonna get limited kind of quickly if you play this too much. So you got to be kind of strategic on how much you play it. But like Christian Braun 3-point attempts, because the guy's not a great shooter, they're gonna leave him wide open. Like same with Bruce Brown, those kind of guys, like anyone but Jokic. You'll let Christian Braun take those threes. So like those attempts kind of line. And then on the other side, the Thunder actually do have guys that make them, like Isaiah Joe. So that would be a guy I'd probably consider for maybe like a threes ladder. I would have even played his points like on the show, but it moved up from 8.5 to 9.5. And that's a big deal when you got a guy that's chucking threes. That's like a key number in the NFL, So like Isaiah Joe, like some of these role players, Cason Wallace has been balling. As a big Cason Wallace fan, it's good to see. But now you have SGA back, so his usage should probably go down a little bit. But just 2 banger games that I think I'm going to be missing a lot of tonight's slate. I got my buddy's housewarming party, so maybe I'll convince somebody to put it on a TV. But these are all music nerds. They're like DJs and shit. So I don't know if they're going to be going for that, But either way, maybe it'll be a watch a little bit on the phone kind of day. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, you also got some good college basketball on there too that you can stream on there. I know Michigan. I know you're not a Michigan guy, but Michigan, Illinois is on tonight as well. It's a good basketball game. But yeah, you got to start mixing it up with these guys. You got to tell them, man. You got to tell them. We got to start getting in those weeds, man. You got to get out there.
I think it's kind of a good balance for my life, though. My life is so sports like related, and work and everything since the second like I got into college, pretty much. And since then, like, it's kind of nice to just go hang out with my friends and they just don't give a fuck at all. Nobody's asking about a fucking parlay. No, like they truly don't care about that stuff. And it's just a nice little balance. Like I think about sports enough, you know what I mean? It's already the biggest part of my life right now. So it's like, I don't mind it, but I agree. I wish a couple of them at least could I got one buddy that's getting into hockey this year. I'm like, really? All the fucking sports, it's fucking hockey. Like, come on, man. But it is what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I agree with that guy though, dude. It's just it switches things up, because like everything's, you don't get to see that much stuff about it here much in the States. I feel like it's definitely kind of down on that, but starting to pick up now. Obviously, after the Olympics, I like I said, I bought a few cards, some hockey cards, and they're doing pretty well so far. So hopefully we can keep making some more money on those, but. Stu, I will kick it over to you. I do not have a bet in the NBA. I know you do, so I'll kick it over to you for our long shot for the day in the NBA.
Yeah, it's funny. We got like I said, some good games today, and I still went dumpster diving, for my long shot. And funnily enough, both long shots I was thinking about Hendrick rebound, and I was thinking about your boy Shireman rebounds as well. But Shireman might have graduated from the tank squad lineup, now that he's kind of starting, and I think he might have graduated. So when you're playing the Nets, I want you to get some of those tank minutes, and I'm kind of worried he might not get the full run anymore. So had to pivot away from Sharman, but I do like Hendricks a lot here. Not necessarily as a basketball player. I'm still not very convinced that he's a very good basketball player, but the matchup is great. Neither Memphis or Dallas can rebound for shit. You have a 238 total. Both of these teams are very unserious, right? Neither of them are really playing defense. This is not, neither of them are, playoff contenders. Like, this is just a kind of nothing game. But when you got games like that, it's also where these young guys that are like fighting for their careers are trying, and they're going for it out there and they're trying to make an impression. And Hendricks, to be honest, I've always been a little bit more impressed with his like defense and rebounding than I have with his scoring ability. That's why I didn't do like because his points is low too. I don't hate it at like a 14 or 15 if you want to take a ladder kind of thing, but I just think rebounds is the more likely. We've already seen him do it once recently. His biggest competition is like Gigi Jackson, who's lined at 5.5. And Gigi Jackson's a really bad rebounder. Like, he's out there to score, but he doesn't really do anything else that like a big does very well, in my opinion. So you don't have any true bigs on your team. You're playing this collection of wings, essentially, big power forwards as your center. Omax Prospers, the other guy. I actually like Omax a little more than Hendricks as a player. I think he's a better defender. But he's not lined, and two, he's normally out on the perimeter a little bit more, like chasing around dudes on defense and a little bit less in the paint. And we've seen Hendricks kind of sit in the paint a little bit more recently. Hendricks is also playing like 25 minutes pretty consistently over these last couple games. He just peaked at 28 the other day as well. So it's good to see, like, he has a pretty safe floor of minutes in terms of like mid 20s with like upside of high 20s. And maybe even, low 30s if we're talking like a blowout kind of game as well. And then the other thing too is like the whole offense for Dallas is all these bigs. Like, they've got a ton of dudes there, like down low. Najee, you got PJ Washington, who should be back for this game. You got Daniel Gafford, who should be back for this game, who's not a very good rebounder. He's bouncy, but he's not a consistent rebounder down there. Like, there's going to be a lot of opportunities at the rim, and they're probably going to need the size, right? You're like, both of these teams are very wing heavy, which makes me think that it's more likely that a guy like Hendricks is going to get some additional run in this matchup right here. So I just like his minutes. We've seen he's already done it in these last couple of games with a 9 rebound game there. I think he's a pretty solid rebounder, above average, and I think his size is going to be needed in this game. And I just like the game environment. I like the total. I like the opportunity here. So yeah, nothing, crazy in this game, but like, I just think Hendricks has upside. I should check what his double is. You probably get a really good price on that. 10 is obviously pushing it a little bit in the rebounds, and then also he could sell you at points even though his base is at 10. But yeah, it's like plus 10-20. I don't hate that as like an even crazier long shot, but I think 8 is very doable here.
Yeah, and the thing is I've seen him get like 6 boards in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's very, you'll know very early where this bet's gonna go, because it just depends if he's very, very engaged or not. The tough part is you need him close to the hoop, and obviously you talked about that in your breakdown there. So let's fully transition on over to college basketball. It's again a pretty nice slate. I feel like college and NBA kind of do this where they're like, okay, we know Saturday is going to be loaded, but we got to take care of the people on these Friday nights and these small games, right? We have, the team everybody's talking about, Miami of Ohio, undefeated still. They're playing today. We have I believe it's the last 2 games that the Ivy League does. So it's really weird. The Ivy League does back-to-back games. So they play tonight and tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Very weird schedule stuff, but they've done it for a while. And then you obviously got, the banger that is, I believe it's what, is that? Let me pull it up. I gotta find where this is. I think that might be tomorrow, actually, that Michigan-Illinois game, because I already put a bet in on it. So I was thinking it was today, but no, that is tomorrow, I believe. Tomorrow. So a lot of those lower-level teams playing here, but honestly, I kind of like these games. These are the types of games I like. I know you like digging in the dumpsters with some scrub players. I kind of like looking at these, lower level teams, dude. They treat me well. They try hard. Obviously in this day and age, they're trying to, get themselves promoted up to higher level teams, which is weird to say when they're 22-year-old dudes that are seniors in college. Like, okay, I got to play for some money now to try and get to a different team. So I like it. Obviously, these are two teams I bet a decent amount this year. I'm going to be going over to Cornell, Yale, first half over 78.5 at -110. I'll talk about why I love Yale today. I don't understand even how it's this close of a line. I know Cornell is in a much more desperate spot to get the win. Yale's obviously in the top of the conference. Like, it's not really necessary for them to win here. But in my opinion, they're the best team in this conference. They're always good. Coach Jones, I know everybody remembered him from when they got their win in the NCAA tournament, him with his nice suit and tie out there putting up numbers. This Cornell defense is absolutely fucking horrible. I will say this right now. I think we got 40 of you guys in here live. If we put the first 5 people to raise their hands, first 3 that raise their hands with me and Stu, we probably could play better defense than these dudes. Like, truly. These guys are out there doing what I do and pick up, bro. Sit on the outside, chuck fucking threes. That's all they're trying to do. And the best part is they're actually pretty good at them. And that's the reason why they win games. The tough part is when you're playing a game like this and you're chucking threes, you probably want to be, the best at them. Yale's second in the country in three-point shooting. Cornell's top 50. Tough part is they both suck at guarding them. That's if you'd assume, like, if you're really good at shooting threes, you'd assume, like, in your practices you would, like, learn how to defend them. Just because you're just, like, if you're playing pickup and stuff, you'd, like, go to the three-point line. The tough part is Yale is 253 in the country, 35% allowed. Cornell is 352 out of 365 teams, allowing 38% from three. Then I just told you both these teams are literally top in the country. Both these very, very good at shooting the three-point ball. Both these teams are not very big either, which leads to a lot more of those offensive rebounds. Cornell is 16th at 38% from three. Yale is number 2, 41% from three. Both can't guard the three ball, and they both shoot it very, very well. On top of that, we get pace. Obviously, these games have been crazy. Yale over the last 2 years against Cornell, James Jones has just absolutely cooked these dudes offensively. 90 points last year's second game. The first matchup was 92. So it was 92, 88, 90, 84. That was last year's games. Now this year, Yale put up 100. They put up a fucking 100 on these dudes. The final score of that game, I believe, was 102-68 was the matchup there. Yale put up 60 in the first half, 59 points in the first half on this Cornell team. Obviously, that was on the road. Now they get to have Cornell go home. Cornell obviously will, I assume, will score more than 35 points in the first half and not lose the first half by 30. But I think this game stays a little bit more competitive early on. Cornell is a very good first half scoring team. I talk about this every single year. That is one of the things they are very good at. They're very good at punching you in the mouth early, but if you punch back, they kind of fold a little bit. Yale's going up against Cornell here with Cornell 41.5 points per game in the first half of games. Yale at 38. So I'm expecting run and gun. I'm expecting a ton of threes. And when you have teams that want to run this stuff, man, we're rolling, man. We're rolling. So sign me up. We're getting this thing going. You're muted there.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I was gonna say the breakdown was great. I'm invested now. Like, I don't know shit about it. Obviously, 2 Ivy League teams, but I like teams that chuck threes and teams that can't defend chucking threes. You know what I mean? So it sounds kind of like a match made in heaven, I guess, unless one team is just like awful, I guess, would be like kind of how you lose this. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a kind of strength on strength matchup for like both sides, so I like the spot. I'll definitely be tailing you. I wish I could bet like props on this, but I'm guessing there ain't gonna be any of these little white dudes out there for threes, are there?
I doubt it. If anything, I think that Townsend is the number 1 scorer for Yale. Dude should absolutely cook these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
He's shooting 50% from three.
Damn. On how many attempts?
I think he's a big, so he's kind of a big, but I think it's like 38 for 75. So like decent amount. I mean, but then obviously you go down the list, like they have some dudes that have shot 50 for 121, 42 for 111. I mean, like 40% shooters from three up and down the board, man. So I'm intrigued to see what these guys can do in a matchup with each other. In a game that Cornell, like I said, really needs to win. Like Cornell needs to win this game. Like they could be falling because I think they play tomorrow against Dartmouth, and they're the 4th and 5th seed, and it's the top 4 seeds go right to the semis. So it's like big games, and I think that they're gonna come out with a little bit more of that desperation here, and hopefully get some points right away.
Sounds good. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I cared about a freaking Ivy League game, but I'll be invested now. I guess maybe they make it to the tournament every once in a while. Like they had one of those teams. What Yale had to run a couple.
Yale had that. They had a couple good dudes on that team 2 or 3 years ago. That's what I was referring to with James Jones, the coach. He had that. He always had that nice button up and tie, and he's a good coach. He went kind of viral too because he's just like a fun guy to root for. Too. So, so obviously getting to one of those guys will probably make it obviously into the tournament. I think it'd be Yale. Yale is by far the best team in this conference. So hopefully it continues, but hopefully we have a fun game today. That's all I'm hoping for. And then obviously Miami of Ohio gets to match up with fucking Western Michigan, dude. Oh my God. That team is a poverty team so bad, bro. They're so bad. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure the thing is though is Miami, Ohio. I'm pretty sure it's like the number 1 spread covering team in the country. They're like, it's pretty high. Like they're like 70% covering against the spread. And most of their spreads are like 8 to 10, 10 to 12 range. So they're out there doing it. So it's like I said, they put some intriguing games on the board today, even though they're not any of the heavy hitters.
Yeah. Are we gonna see Miami of Ohio go undefeated? Is that happening?
I think it's kind of interesting how they matched them up to have I think Ohio is their last game, right? So it's like it's kind of a rivalry game there. So I think that's going to be an interesting one. But they should win these next 2 for sure. Absolutely. They seem bad. Western Michigan's fucking horrible, dude. So I'm very intrigued to see who they match up with in the tournament, dude. I'm kind of intrigued on that, on who they get.
Yeah, is it just going to be one of those things where like, oh, they're undefeated, everyone gets hyped up, and then they just get their asses kicked by someone?
That's what I'm saying. If it matches, like if they match up with like a, like a Bama, or like a fun team like that wants to run, I think that could be a fun game. Yeah, they might lose by like 15, but a good showing. Because they do have scorers. Like, they're very good scorers. I'm pretty sure they have a guy, his name is Suter, who's very good. He's very good. He could have played a little higher level. But, like, if they're playing, like, a Iowa State or, like, a team that actually plays defense and wants to play defense, like, I think they'd get fucking wiped. They would probably lose by 15 to 20.
Fair. Well, I guess we'll see. I'm sure if they can keep this up, I'm sure it'll be a fun narrative, at least to talk about in like the media and stuff when, the March Madness stuff kind of ramps up a little bit more. Yeah. And it's coming up, man. It's coming up. So it's obviously an intriguing time, and hopefully we get to, get there with some profit on our way over there. So let's get a quick recap in, Stu, and then we can check out some of the comments in the chat. Sounds good. We got Hendricks, and this is in that Grizzlies game, 8+ rebounds, plus 300. Should be pretty widely available at this price. I'll be on Cornell. Big red, baby. Over 78.5 in the first half with Yale Bulldogs in that one. So the guy, he brought up the guy in the interview said he's never seen Friends. That's wild. With that name, but I did a quick Google and I saw that as well, but it looks like there's no more information. So, hey, a journalist out there, if you're in the area of, Vandy, or, you're going to be at the tournament or whatever, I don't know. I think they're making the tournament. Like, you got to go follow up on this. We need some content, Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I am. That's where I went to school. So UWL. And then always take the Ivy League team to win the round 1. Yeah, I mean they're fun teams, and they play a lot of different styles in that league. It feels like a recent trend though, right? Like that's kind of happened a couple times recently. So I feel like that's probably why it's got that vibe, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I mentioned on the last show, right? I mentioned Vandy having Okereke, guy from the best player from Cornell last year, transferring over there. He's 14 a game in the SEC.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was like 20 in the Ivy League, and obviously a big reason why they were good last year and put up a lot better performances than now being fourth in the conference. But like, they have some dudes like Townsend could probably play, like maybe a Big East. I think he could be a Big East player if he wanted to, but it's like, they're obviously really fucking smart, and what half these kids probably don't even go to class in these other schools.
Yeah, no, their class is basketball. That's especially in the NIL era. Like, did you see that Carson Beck interview where they asked him about like what his favorite class was, and he was like,
"I graduated 2 years ago, right?
School, like." I don't do that shit. I was like, what the hell? Like, you forget how stupid it is until you see a quote like that. And you're like, oh my God, like we are just letting like these guys be professional athletes against 19-year-olds in college. Like, I mean, yeah, whatever. Everyone knows the college sports system is fucked and, needs change. But you get reminded of it every once in a while. Just like, oh, damn. Like some of these guys are 24 and haven't gone to school in 2 years.
Yeah, the fact that I saw Carson Beck was like, I think projected to go like 65th. I'm like, dude, this guy's ass, bro. Like, what are you doing here?
He's going like 6th round, 7th round. He's not gonna.
Yeah, he's bad.
Because this quarterback class is so bad that there's not going to be like a rush where like they all go off or whatever. Like someone will take a chance on Nuss. I guess Chambliss isn't even in it anymore, right? He went back. Signed the ball for the judge and got that little thing overturned there. So shout out to him. A little elbow grease goes a long way, I guess. Some old school SEC tactics right there, baby. So he would have probably been like a 3rd round or something. So like, I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to be rushing to take fucking Carson back. But yeah, this is a really bad. I mean, hey, it's such a bad quarterback class that, hey, your boy Malik Willis is about to make generational money. He's about to make $35 million a year.
It's all 40s, bro. I saw 40 to 50 in the fucking.
It's possible.
And I'm pretty sure we got him for a 7th round pick.
Yep. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. I remember people in my Discord betting Malik Willis 1st overall pick of that draft too. And then he fell like 2 rounds because that was the last really terrible draft class with like Pickett and all those dudes. So
I remember, and not to rain on your parade here, Stu, I remember all the hate on Malik Willis. I remember that week. What was it? Them playing the Colts? Was that 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, and I cashed too, baby.
No. And this is the best part: is I went against you on purpose in DFS, where I went and I played him because I'm like, fuck it, dude. Everybody hates him. He was minimum price, and I ended up like 4xing my money because the dude had like 180 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown at like damn near min price. I'm like, damn, what are the odds? And he ended up. I think the next 2 weeks ended up going pretty crazy in the DFS streets, at least, because obviously he was running around like crazy and putting up some numbers.
No, I do remember that because I bet like under 150 passing yards or something, right?
I think it was a little bit higher than that.
It was either
way. You were like, why is this not 150?
Yeah, it might have. I think that's the most CLV I've gotten in like years. Because I think I bet at like 180 and it closed at like 150 or something like that. And I do remember that. And it won, so shout out. But I remember coming on here and definitely tore into him, being like, this guy's a fucking joke, like not an NFL quarterback. I'm pretty sure I just called him Dorian Thompson-Robinson the whole time, which was a good comp at the time and proved to be true. But hey, shout out to your developmental staff. I mean, he put the work in. He got the opportunity. And also, I will say that start was on short notice as well. So it was kind of like he got thrown into the fire. But development has been on point. But I'm not going to, like, I said this in my Discord, I'd rather trade, a 7th round pick for Anthony Richardson than I would pay Malik Willis that. Because I just don't know. It's not that I don't believe it anymore. Those throws are crisp as hell. He's got wheels. Like, don't get me wrong. I see the picture now. And, I mean, the improvement's been huge. But, like, I'm not paying that kind of money if I'm a team. No, that's like a down bad team kind of move. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if he I'm rooting for him though, 100%. That kind of success story would be dope to see after people writing him off. So, and Richardson as well. So it'll be an interesting year. I mean, even it's such a bad quarterback class free agent that even Derek Carr is looking like he's going to come back.
I saw that. I'm like, fucking leave it, dude. How many fucking concussions do you need, bro, before we're gonna just stop?
Yeah, he got some rough ones, but he probably is an improvement on like a couple teams. Like I'm trying to think, like I'd probably rather have Derek Carr than like Kirk Cousins, you know? So that's where I draw the line, because Kirk Cousins is likely going to be a day one starter this year, in my opinion, for the Minnesota Vikings. If Kalshi has it, I'd bet that. But
for the Vikings, okay.
The show. Yeah. Because the Vikings, they already talked about bringing what do you call it? Competition, like a veteran or whatever in. And he knows I believe he has some past relationship with some of the staff over there. And yeah, just one of those things. I'm trying to see if there's actually a market up for it right now, because he's going to get cut by Atlanta, which I actually thought he might stay in Atlanta. But yeah, I don't see any lines like outside of you can bet him to win MVP, which I'm not going to be doing.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, we are out of here today for your Friday show. If you guys could hit that like button, I think we got 5 likes on YouTube. We got to get that up a little bit. Let's hit a couple more likes here. Obviously got some free plays for you guys here. Stu, anything closing before we get out of here?
Not really. They have freaking Cleveland week 1 starting quarterback, but not Minnesota. So we gotta change that, guys. We gotta change that. Hopefully Kalshi can get that up. I actually will be a Kalshi partner soon. So if you want a link to go sign up over there, I'll DM me. I'll shoot you one. But yeah, excited. Ready to, keep on getting some wins in here. Hopefully last long shot. Obviously I didn't have anything last show, so it's just you that carried us, but hopefully we make it 2 in a row in the long shot department.
Yeah, it'd be good to keep adding these on, keep stacking some wins, and keep rolling into March. This will be obviously our last show of February, and then we're into March. We got our spring training stuff. We got the baseball classic. We got our. I'm already starting up my best balls. I'll probably start doing those a little bit more religiously here coming up soon, and then obviously March Madness. So it's the best time with everything kind of overlapping right now. So it'll be a fun one. So. We will catch you guys on Monday, normal time, getting after it. Appreciate you guys joining with us, and we'll catch you on Monday.